It's Saturday in San Antonio. The moon is waxing. We have the full moon in Leo tomorrow, Sunday. My name is Misty.
My name is Michael.
This is Book Bonfire. So today we're featuring two Sagittarius authors. My book is Michelle McDaniel, Collected Poems, 2005 to 2025.
And my first selection for February is going to be Philip K. Dick, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch.
Okay. I just submitted a review and it's up. It's up at Amazon, my review of Michelle McDaniel, Collected Poems. I have a few pages marked. I like Michelle's poetry because it's so in your face, it's so blunt, it's so honest. There's absolutely no pretense. And I had the honor of seeing Michelle read her poems at the Lit Fest she put together with Dan Denton in Toledo, Ohio last November. And Michael was there. I was there with Michael and our son, Jackson.
The Underground Lit Fest in Toledo. It was amazing seeing the way she brought everybody together. Dan Denton was there. Everybody was there.
But I was most impressed by Michelle's performance. It wasn't a performance. I mean, she was reading her poems, but her delivery, I was blown away by her delivery. It's so matter of fact.
I was too. She did a great job.
Let's see. I think this is the first poem I have marked. I'm coming to get your food. I'm thinking of moving. Perhaps I will go where there is a good food pantry. Being poor is a matter of shifting things around until things get better. Las Vegas, Nevada, population 478,434, does not have a desirable food bank. Back in 95, I opened up a package of dry blueberry muffin mix with much excitement. I dumped her in the bowl and cracked my eggs right in. Those were some of my last few cents, those eggs. No eggs at the food pantry, and groceries don't come cheap in the land of endless buffets. I stirred like I hadn't eaten in days, because I hadn't eaten in days. Dipped my fingers into the batter for a taste test. Just before she reached my tongue, mouth agape, my eyes spotted the tiny mealworms swimming around the mixing bowl. Dan, my finger, the bowl. My finger, the bowl. Eyes darting back and forth. Should I? God, I am so hungry. Protein, right? How many times had I heard that accidentally swallow the bug? I'm going to reread that. How many times had I heard that? Accidentally swallowed a bug. Didn't kill me. I'm still alive. Still standing here. But for how friggin' long? Fuck! Splat. Blueberry worm wall food. Note to self. Thank food pantry for pine saw. Quite handy in dining room. Yes, the smaller towns, though not too small, they get the better stuff. Fresh stuff. They get all society and competitive about their food banks, like Jacksonville, Illinois, population 18,940. You can even get fresh bakery goods on certain days. It's the bomb. On smoke and mirrors. The movies are always liars. You can't type with a cigarette dangling from your lips for long. Well, you can, but there's no point. If you inhale, you get smoke in your eyes. The packing house, second shift. Beyond the gray gates, a soft, sweet spot remembered. I put my hands on the dead, cut flesh that was. It is my job to bag the familiar, clear plastic, soft pink flesh, so cold, so very, very cold. We move swiftly through the process. Do not think of the dead, but of babies, men, the rent, heat.
Awesome.
I think there's one or two more. Okay. Friendly advice. Find another way to make money. Invent new ways to talk. Excuse me, I'm going to do it over again. Find another way to make money. Invent new ways to stalk your lover. Start a diet fad. Marry a rich man. Kill him with your good looks and big tits. Don't take a penny. Dig graves for a living. With your fierce, competitive attitude. Sell, sell, sell. Aim high, shoot low. Find an airfield saturated in hairspray. Tell the whole world about the mood you're in. In other words, lie, lie, lie. I think I've got one more marked. Or is that it? Let's see, 196. That's the one that I put up on, the one I put on Amazon. I quoted on Amazon. Back by sometime still called Monday. We travel by landmark and compass, an itinerary that not only includes but demands getting lost. What's needed is highly reevaluated. We have friends in every port. Some will pull through and some will forget what day it is. Pissed by the side of the road, carry various weaponry, but most importantly, always carry a can opener. You do have to know a stranger when you see one. Be careful out there, safe travels, all that. Clues to watch out for are uniforms. And anyone else sunk so low, all they have is it's us or them. Look for desperation. Never forget crazy. And anyone thinking they have, need, are power. The bloodlust riffs off them, loud as sirens, those ones. Sometimes they come with smiles, but still, you usually know. That is fire, as they say.
I know, so good. And it was great to see her read her poems in person.
Yes, it was.
What was your...
And to hang out with her. Some people, they're great writers. You know, they say never meet your hero. Some people are great writers, but they suck in person. She's a good person and a good writer. And that's rare. And she's a badass editor.
Did Tim Murray get up there and read?
Tim Murray got up there and read.
That's
he sure
right,
did.
He did. Who else was there?
Carl Koweski.
Bill Taylor.
William Taylor Jr. Yes.
It was a good time. The Underground.
Dan Denton.
And you're going to be...
Alethea Drimmer.
Alethea Drimmer.
God, I'm blanking on names. My brain is so geriatric.
Are you going to do the Zoom?
And I'm only 52.
Today?
No, the Zoom thing is tomorrow.
Okay. And Michelle's going to be on that too?
Yes. She's doing it. It's her thing.
It'll be on Facebook.
And I'm going to need your help with that because I don't know how to do Zoom meetings. I mean, can you do those on your phone?
Yes.
Because I don't have a webcam anymore. So I can do it on my phone?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What I'm reading this month, I was inspired by myself when we did our favorite books of all time.
Yes.
So I'm going to be rereading one of my favorite books of all time and just see how it holds up. It's probably been about 10 years since I've read this book. Philip K. Dick, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch.
So that's not the one about the puppets?
It is. It's about the Perky Pat layouts.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the storyline where Philip K. Dick, he had two daughters, and I'm sure they had Barbie dolls lying around, so he invented this story around the Barbie dolls and the escapism. But it is so creepy and wild how he tells this story. So these adults that live on Earth has become unlivable because
So they're all on Mars?
Well, they're on Earth, but the sidewalks are shielded, the ultraviolet rays, there's no atmosphere, upper atmosphere to protect us from the sun's rays. The climate has degraded. He wrote this in 1965, so he was thinking of climate change all the way back then. And so Earth was becoming more and more uninhabitable. So to escape, adults will gather around and play Barbie dolls with Perky Pat. And there's a company that sells these layouts, and they gather around like you're going to play a D&D game.
Right.
But that's on the surface. The undercurrent is, to make it more realistic, they also take this drug called Candy. And Candy, they eat it, and then for about 15 minutes, they seem to become the characters that they're playing. So it's pure escapism. They hallucinate that they're part of Perky Pat and her boyfriend Walt. And they live in this pre-apocalyptic world where everything's nice. She has a wonderful apartment. She has her own car. And so they inhabit these characters. It's crazy. This is the undercurrent.
This is tangential, but people like Dolores Cannon, that's basically what the Earth experience is. You have amnesia, you come down, and
right.
You're playing a part, and when you die, you're like, oh, that was just all part of an elaborate play. And then that guy, Rust Coe, played by Matthew McConaughey in True Detective, he speaks to that.
Yes.
The first season of True Detective.
So
how you die, and you're like, oh, that was all just a play. All that drama, all the words, it was all nothing.
A lot of people have escaped to these Martian colonies. They call them the hovels or whatever. They live in, they work, they're trying to farm Mars, which is very, very difficult. So they live this very bleak existence in these communal groups of like 4 or 5 families. Anyway, the only way they can bear it is to have candy, the drug, and play Perky Pat every evening. So they get to escape, they take the drug, they get to escape. But there's trouble on the horizon because corporate interests, Philip K. Dick always talks about the future of corporations. This is 1965. So this one guy, Palmer Eldritch, he's been missing for years. He went on an interstellar journey, and rumor has he came back. Well, he did come back, and he brought something unusual. And under the surface, he starts marketing it as this other drug called Chew-Z, CHEW-Z. And they don't know it's from him, but it has this wild effect. And it's multi-layered hallucinogenic.
Am I hallucinating? Is our son practicing piano?
He is. He is out in the cold garage.
He's in the garage doing piano?
He certainly is.
Okay, good.
So there's this corporate bustle and hustle in the background where the CEO of PP Layouts, which is Perky Pat Layouts, who sells the dolls and the stuff. And then, of course, under the table, he also has the drug. He distributes it to Mars and Earth. And now he's got competition. People are selling this new drug called Chew-Z, which is way better. But so all this weird stuff ensues. But the thing with Chew-Z is you get really addicted, and it becomes harder and harder for you to discern reality from the hallucination. And they're all trying to go back and find out, where is Palmer Eldritch? Where did he land? The rumor was he was on the moon, and when they go to visit him, they can't, or all these hallucinations. It's just layered in bizarre reality. And I love the book because it's so multi-layered. And I love the hunt for Palmer Eldritch, because those that go after him, they get exposed to this drug, this Chew-Z, and they don't really know if they're seeing him or they're not. And one of the only ways and it goes back and forward in time. He sends you on all these trips. He's in control of the Chew-Z trip. And when you're in his presence, the only way you can know if it's real or not is to recognize his stigmata. He has the Luxvid mechanical eyes. He lost his hand, so he has like a metal hand. And he also has a metal jaw because that was replaced too. So those are the 3 stigmata, and they're kind of looking for the signs in the middle of their hallucination to know if they're really in the presence of Palmer Eldritch or not. And it has just these wonderful tropes, like the psychiatrist. They have these mechanical psychiatrists that they carry around in a briefcase. It's called Dr. Smile. And Dr. Smile, I picked out some quotes from Dr. Smile that I wanted to read. His machine greeting is, "I'm Dr. Smile, your computer psychiatrist. How are we feeling today?" And then another one is, he frequently encourages his patients to use Candy, the illegal drug. But he's more like a facilitator than any help at all. "You're a very sick man, Barney. You need to translate." And translate is when you take Candy, you translate. into one of the characters in the Perky Pat layout. So anyway, if you love talking briefcases and you love precog stories, this was his first attempt at, well, he used precogs. These are people that can see the future. And he always envisioned that people that were precognitive would be snapped up and used by industry and capitalism.
CIA.
Right? And so
I'm reading Chaos, and he gets into that. I'm just now getting into Chaos by Tom O'Neill about the Manson.
So Barney, the main protagonist, a reluctant protagonist, is a precog. And
MK Ultra.
And he foresees some of this stuff that's going to happen.
Did he know about MK Ultra? Because
sure
that was
he did.
going on when he was writing in the 60s.
I'm sure he did. In the 70s is when MK Ultra started to come out, in the late 70s. But yeah, so if you want a good, crazy, science fiction, hallucinogenic type read, I do recommend Philip K. Dick, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. It's one of my favorite of his books of all time, and it's one of my favorite books of all time. Misty, I know you don't care for Philip K. Dick.
I've tried. The closest I've come to reading a book of his all the way through is through Scanner Darkly, although I did love Confessions of a Crap Artist. I read that all the way through. That wasn't his usual thing, though. That was realism. That wasn't sci-fi.
Right.
Confessions of a Crap Artist.
So
I read that all the way through, yeah.
For any of the others out there that are listening, if you like Philip K. Dick, please share your favorite stories. And
Which one is it where the United States divides into two different countries?
The Man in the High Castle.
The Man in the High Castle,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good one.
It's an interesting concept.
He wrote that about 4 years before he wrote this book.
Okay.
All right.
Just this is not even related, but one of the noise tracks I made for Saturn Transmissions last night, I gave it the title 1881. And then I looked it up, and nothing really that important happened in 1881. We did have a president who got assassinated. You know which one was assassinated in 1881?
My brain isn't telling me. Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, it was Garfield. And then also P.T. Barnum and Bailey, they had their first circus at Madison Square Garden in 1881. So, interesting times.
We are living in interesting times.
We should do a video for Roomcast talking about the transits.
Yes, we should.
So subscribe to Roomcast if you have any interest in the metaphysical, numerology, the Kabbalah, astrology, the runes, the tarot.
Siren Tarot.
Siren Tarot, that's my main channel that I have the most subscribers. I have 27,000 subscribers. My tarot channel where I do mostly pick of cards.
And we'll be back later in the month. And at the end of the month, or when I finish this, I'll give you a 10 years later. Does Mike still think it's his favorite book?
Yeah, and it's my birthday on the 17th, and so I should talk about maybe my favorite books. 10 books that really impacted me. My top 10 favorite books of all time. Slaughterhouse-Five, A Wrinkle in Time, Tiger Eyes. I'm a lightweight. I'm not one of those who can read, War and Peace or Dostoevsky. No, I'm not an intellectual. I'm a lightweight. I'm from Texas. Okay. In transmission.